Hi, and welcome to my video on decimals. Again, this video is the second half of the decimal unit. Find the sum. That's the sum of these. So when we add, we line up the decimals. So we get 0.23 and we get 12.4. So all the decimals are lined up. That means we have zeros here and zeros here. So we have all the places in line. So we add, we get a 3. Add here, we get 6 and 1 is 7. And 6 and 2 is 8. So 18.73. When you have sum means add. Round the sum to the nearest hundredth. So what I'm going to do is, instead of writing all these down again, line up these decimals. So I got 1.73, so 1.73. And I line up this one, I got 0.162. And line up this one, I got 0.0004. And again, there's 4 places, so put a 0 here. Put 2 zeros here to get 4 place values and 2 zeros. So they're all lined up. So the sum is add 4. When I add here, I get a 2. And that gives me 5 and 6 is 11. So 1 carry to 1. So I carry to 1. I get 3's 10, 11. We have to carry another 1, and that's 3, 1, 1 is a 5. There's the decimal, and we have a 4, so 45.1124, and we have to round it off. So this 1 is in the hundredths place, so I get a 4.5.1. This digit is less than 5, so this 1 stays as it is. And these become zeros, but I don't need to put them in. Number 2, simplify. Again, I'm not using a calculator. I'm using my pencil. And in other words, using my head. Simplify each, we have to subtract. So we line up the decimals. So we get a 6, 5, 3, 9. We're subtracting. So 6 subtract 9, you can't do it. So you make that a 3. And you make this a 16. So 16 subtract 9 is 7. 3 subtract 3 is 0. 7 subtract 5 is 2. And 9 subtract 6 is 3. So that's... And here we have 71 subtract 4.62. So 71 has a decimal there, and there's 2 decimal places here, so we put 2 zeros on those, and we're subtracting, so we'll line up the decimals. And 0 subtract 2 you can't do it here, so you make that a 0. This becomes a 10, but we still can't subtract it, so we make that a 9, and we add 1 on here, so that's makes that a... When I say puts 1 onto here, makes it 10. So 10 subtract 2 is 8. 9 subtract 6 is 3. 0 subtract 4, we can't do it, so make that a 6, and that becomes 10. So 10 subtract 4 is 6, and we got a 6 at the end. And again, another way to check is if you add these back up, you should get this number here. So 2 plus 8 is 10. Put down your 0, carry your 1. So 6 and 3 is 9, carry your 1 is a 10. Put down your 0, carry your 1. 4 and 6 is 10, carry your 1. Yep. And we have carry your 1. 6 and 1 is 7. So that's a check. C, subtract 1.64 from that. So that means it's 14.9 subtract 1.64. So that's a 0 there. So we're subtracting. 0 subtract 4 can't do it. So this becomes an 8. This becomes a 10. 10 subtract 4 is 6. 8 subtract 6 is 2. 4 subtract 1 is 3. And we have a 1, so 13.26. D, decimal 923 less than 3.117, so less than. That's like saying 10 less than 14 would be 14 subtract 10. So I have 3.117 and 0.923. We're subtracting. It's decimal 923 less than this, so again, there's a subtraction. 7 subtract 3 is 4. Can't subtract here, so we make that a 0, and there's 11. 11 subtract 2 is 9. And 0 subtract 9 can't do it, so this becomes a 2, and that becomes a 10. 10 subtract 9 is 1. And we have 2 subtract 0 is 2, so 2.194. Again, I'm using you can use your calculator, but I prefer to use my head and my pencil. Just keeps that skill alive. So I use the calculator all the time. Again, if we're doing word problems, teachers might say, well, use a calculator to make it easier. Find the sum of 334.61 and 2.378 less 73.198. So the sum means add. So 1.134.61 and 2.378. So adding, we line up the decimals. So there's a 0. 8. Add 8. Add 9. Add, there's a 6, 3, and a 1. So that's 136.88. And it says less. So that means we have 136.988 less. So less means subtract. So we 73.189. So 8 subtract 9 can't do it, so this becomes a 7. This becomes an 18. 18 subtract 9 is 9. 7 subtract 8, you can't do it, so this becomes an 8. This becomes a 17. 17 subtract 8 is 9. And 8 subtract 1 is a 7. 6 subtract 3 is 3. 3 subtract 7 can't do it. This becomes a 0. This becomes a 13. 13 subtract 7 is 6. Number 3, find each. So this is a multiplication. So what I do when I do a multiplication, again, I'm using my pencil. Again, doing math, you should always use a pencil, but I have a pen so you can see the darkness. I write down the smaller number of digits on the bottom, and we're multiplying. And so we multiply 2 times 1.06. 2 6s are 12. Then 2, you got to carry your 1. 2 times 0 is 0. Add on 1. 2 times 1 is 2. So we have, now, there's 2 decimal places there. There's 1 decimal place there. That's 3 altogether, so 3 decimal places. So you start here, and you go, move your decimal 3 places to the left. So you go 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 0.212. Count out the number of decimal places in each number, and you start on the right and move it to the left. And again, we have 0.1451 multiplied by 0.03. I always put, see, if you put this number first and multiply with this one, you have to multiply 4 times. So it's better to put the least number of digits you got to multiply on the bottom. So I got to just multiply by 3. 3 1s are 3. 3 5s are 15. Carry your 1. 12 plus 1 is 13. and 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. And we have to go with 3 decimal places here, 2 decimal places here. So that means we have, oh, did I say decimal place? I count 1, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 decimal places. Now, why did I say 3? Count them up. This is in the decimal. If you move the decimal to the end here, that's 4 decimal places. This is 2 decimal, 6 altogether. So we have to go from here, we have to go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we put the 0 there. So that's the multiplication. Again, I'm using my pen all the time. Now, when we come to this one, we have to use the order of operations. So we have to do the inside of the brackets first. So it's 1.2. Have used PEMDAS. P-E-M-D. Oh, D, make it a D. A-S, or BEDMAS. We go with B. PEMDAS means you got to do inside your brackets first. So what we do inside of this bracket here, we got 1.3, add on 2.45. We add that up, we get a 5 and a 7 and a 3 decimal. So we get 3.75. So now we got 3.75, and we're going to multiply it by 1.2. Again, you put this 2-digit number on the bottom, you only have to multiply twice. And when you multiply that out, again, we're not using a calculator. We're going to multiply this out. So 2 times 5 is 0, carry your 1. 14 plus 1 is 15, carry your 1 is a 7. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Now multiply by 1. You move one place in. So this is the first place. Now we're multiplying by the second place. So we move in 1, 5, 7, 3. And you give it 0. Add this up, you get a 0. 14, 1 is 5, 4. And there's, right here, when you multiply, there's 2 decimal places, 1 decimal place, 3 altogether in our answer. So we got 3 in our answer. So we go, start here, 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 4.5. Again, calculator's quicker, but practice with your pencil. And PEMDAS here, we have to, PEMDAS, we have work inside the brackets first. So when you subtract here, you get 4, subtract, and 4 is 4 decimal. So this is 1.7. So 4 is the same as 4.0. We subtract, can't do it. That's a 3 and that's a 10. 10 subtract 7 is 3. And 3 subtract 1 is 2. So that's 2.1. Oh, sorry, 2.3. Why I say 1, don't know, just again. Now we're subtracting here, so 0.28. Subtract 0.24. 8 decimals are lined up because we're subtracting 8. Subtract 4 is 4. 2 subtract 2 is 0. 0, so that's 0.04. And we multiply, so I like to multiply. Again, 2.3 multiplied by 0.04. 1 decimal, 1 digit here, so put that on the bottom. So 3 times 4 is 12. Got to carry your 1. 2 4s are 8, plus 1 is 9. And there's 1 decimal place here. There's 2 here, that's 3 altogether. Start here. 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 0.092. Let's continue. So I can turn this over correctly. Now we have to continue. What about squaring and cubing decimals? Well, it's 0.4 times 0.4, and 4 4s are 16. There's 1 decimal place here, 1 here. That's 2 altogether. Start here, 1, 2. So decimal 16 or 0.16. Cubing, 3 times. I've written it down 3 times, so 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. There's 1 decimal place, another decimal place, another there, so 3 decimal places. So we start here, 1, 2, 3. 3 decimal places. Again, look, you're trying to try your calculator, decimal 2 cubed, you get decimal 0.008 or 0.008. Number 5, find each, and we're multiplying. When you multiply by 10, when you multiply decimal by 10, you move decimal 1 place to the right. So 7, 1, 2, 3, 6. 1 multiplying by 10 moves 1 place to there. Multiplying it by 100 moves it 2 places to the right. So it's 3, 4, 1. 1, 2 places. 34.1. Multiplying by 1,000 goes 3 places to the right. So there it is. So 3 places, 1, 2, and we got to put a 0 on. There it is. There's your decimal. Understood. Number 6, simplify. And again, we have to do PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S, or BEMDAS. So we have to do inside the brackets first. So 100, and we have 4.2, subtract 1.6, line up the decimals. Can't subtract, so that's a 3 and that's a 12. 12 subtract 6 is 6. 3 subtract 1 is 2. So that's a 2.6. And we have to add here. So we have 0.17, add on 3, 3. 7 plus 3 is 10. Pretend 0, carry a 1. As a 5. So that is 0.5 squared. So we got the inside the brackets done. Now we have to do the exponents. So 100 times 2.6 and decimal 0.5 times 0, decimal 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5. 5 5s are 25. 1 decimal place, 2 there's 1 there and 1 there. What decimal places? There's 2 altogether. So start here, 1, 2. So that becomes 0.25. So we got the square. Inside the brackets are done. We got the exponent done. Now we got to do multiplication, division, left to right. Multiply. Multiply by 100. The decimal moves 2 places to the right. So from here, 1, 2. And we add decimals there. So 260 with a decimal. 0.25. There's, so that's 260.25. Again, when you add 5, 2, 0, 6. And there's your decimal. Number 7, express each with no decimals, but I want them as a fraction. So I have a decimal over decimal. So if you multiply by 10, your decimal moves 1 place to the right. But the decimal's still there, so I got to multiply by another 10. So that's 40 over 47. So if you multiply by 100, it moves the decimal 2 places here. When you multiply by 100, you got to put another 0 on. So if you multiply by 10, then you got to multiply by 10 again. So multiply by 100 at the beginning. 100 here gives you 2 places, so it's 40, 47. And right here we have 3 places here. We've got to move the decimal, so we multiply by 1,000. So that gives us 1, 3, 0, 0, 3 places here. And 3 places right here gives me 1, 2, 3, so 6, 1, 2. And we want it as a fraction, so there it is as a fraction. Didn't say mixed numeral, just as a fraction. There's the fraction, numerator over denominator. Number 8, express this decimal as a mixed number, simplified. So we got 2 places here, 3 places here. So multiply by 1,000, we get 1 more place, so that's 50. Multiply by 1,000 here, we get a 4. 3 places, 1, 2, 3. 3 places here, 1, 2, and 1 more 0. And we want it as a mixed number, simplified. So 4 into 50, 1, 4, get to 10, 2, 8, 2, and we want it as a mixed number, so it's 12 and 2 over 4. That becomes as a mixed number, so it's simplified. So 2 over 4 is 1 over 2 when you reduce it. Continue to review. Find a quotient of each as a decimal. Quotient means multiply. When I say quotient means multiply, quotient means divide. Again, you can use your calculator, but if you go 0.02 divided into 0.058, you move your decimal places 2 places here, move it 2 places here, then move it up. So now you got 2 divided into 58. 2 into 5 goes 2, multiply 4, subtract 1, bring down your 8. 2 into 18 goes 9. So the answer is 2.9. And we're dividing here, so we have 0.005 divided into 8.02. You have to have a whole number, so we move it 3 places to there. So we move it 3 places here. 1, 2, right to there. Move it up. So we divide 5 into 8 is 1. We get a 5. Subtract, we get 3. Bring down your 0. 5 into 30 goes 6. 5, 6 is there 30. This is 0. Bring down your 2. 5 into 2 cannot go. Bring down your 0. 5 into 20 goes 4. 4, 5 is 20. So the answer is 1,604. Number 10, we have to simplify. Again, we have to, I'm always stressing P, E, M, D, A, S. That's bracket. Inside the brackets are parentheses first, exponents next, multiplication, division left to right, addition, subtraction left to right. So we have to do inside the brackets first. So 2.4 subtract 1.2. 4 subtract 2 is 2. 2 subtract 1 is 1. So we get a 1.2 squared. And we have to do inside of this bracket first. So when we're dividing by 100, the decimal moves, multiplying by 100 moves 2 to the right. Dividing by 100 moves 2 to the left. So there it is there, moving the 2 to the left. So we get a 6. There it is there. One more and another one. So we move it 2 to the left. So we have the inside the brackets done. Now we do the exponents. So 1.2 times 1.2. That's like 12 squared. So that gives us 4, 2. 1 times 2 is 2. That's 144. And we have 1 decimal place, 2 all together. So we start here and go 2, 1, 2. So it's a 1.44. See, 12 squares is 144. There's 1 decimal place there. So when you square it, you get 2 decimal places. There it is. That's done. And now we take 0.006 and divide it into 1.44. 3 decimal places there. 1, 2, 3 decimal places there. 6 into 14 goes 2. That gives us 12. 6 into 24 goes 4. 24. Got another 0 to go yet, so we bring down to 0. 6 into 0 goes 0. So the answer is 240. Number 11, express as a decimal. So that's a decimal already, so that's okay. 3/4 is 3/4 of a dollar. Think of it that way. It's 75 cents. So we multiply by 25. Multiply by 25. That's 75 over 100. 75 over 100 is decimal 75. So I think of 3/4 as 3/4 of a dollar, 75 cents. Now we add. So when we add these, I go down here, 2.75, and I got 0.567. Fine. When you add, you line up the decimals. So that's a 0. 0 plus 7 is 7. 5 and 6 is 11. 10, 1, carry 1. 12, 1 is 13, carry 1. So we have 3.17. And we want a decimal for these, so I can, 3/5 is easy to change. So 3/5 is, multiplied by 2, is 6 over 10. 6 over 10 is 0.6. We have to work inside of here. So we have to go with, let's see, let's work it up right here. 1.6. Decimal 8 divided by 1.6. 1.6 into decimal 8. One place we move it one place. There it is. So 16 into 8 can't go. Put a 0 there. 16 into 80 goes 5. So 5 times 16 is 80. So that's a 0.5, decimal 5. So notice that you have another way to do it would be to take decimal 8 and put it 1.6. Move it, multiply by 10, you get 8. Multiply by 10, you get 16. 16 over 8 is a half, which is 0.5. So now decimal 6 squared is decimal 6. 0.6 times 0.6, that's 36. One decimal place, another decimal, 2 decimal places, so you get decimal 36 multiplied by decimal 5. So 0.36 multiplied by 0.5. 5 6 is 30, but 0 carries 3. 15, 3 is 18. 2 decimal places, 1 decimal place, 3 altogether. So right here is your decimal. Move it 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 0.18. The final answer. Again, I like to keep repeating. PEMDAS, order of operations, extremely important. Now we have a final page in this video, and it says find each. 2 meters to millimeters, centimeters, millimeters to centimeters, etc. What I have is a scale. So what I have is, I have, this is one way. I have the unit is in the middle. Then I have deci, centi, milli. And when you go to the left of that is deca, DA, decimeter. Hectometers is H, and kilometers. Kilometers, kilograms, kiloliters. So mil, cent, deci, deca, hecta, kilo. So if you use that, you can convert these easy. So 2 meters to centimeters. So if you put meters here, then you're going to centi. So that's 2 places to the right. So your decimal is there. So 2 places. The decimal moves 2 places to the right from where it is. You got millimeters to centimeters. Millimeters is here. Centimeters here. That's 1 move. So you're dividing by 10, so you're moving one place. So your decimal's there, so you get 68.2 decimal. So using this scale here, if you go to the right, you decimal goes to the right, we go to the left, the decimal goes to the left. Kilometers to meters. So kilo to meters, that's 1, 2, 3, 3 places. So it's 7, 3, 0, 0. 3 places. 1, 2, 3. Was there? 1, 2, 3. Milliliters to liters. Mil, so the unit is liters. So if the unit is liters, mil is here, liters is here, so that's 3 left. So there it is there. So 3 left is 3.457. And even if you have grams, so this is the units. This is meters, liters, and grams. And in the metric system, they're not the same, but the conversion is the same. So we have milligrams to a gram. So there's a milligram right here, going to a gram here. So that's 3 places. So 3 places, there it is. So it's 1, 2, 3. So it's 0.412. I'm going to put 0.412. That's the way I do it. Or there's another way. You can say meters to centimeters. There's 1,000 centimeters in a meter. So you 100 centimeters in a meter. Centi means out of 100. So that's 100 times 2. And millimeters to centimeters, there's 10 centimeters, 10 millimeters in a centimeter. So you're converting to centimeters, you got to divide by 10. Because you're going from small unit to a large unit, you got to divide. When you go from a large unit to a small unit, you got to multiply. But again, this scale simplifies this for me. Kilometers to meters, kilo to here is 1,000. There's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So when you go from a large unit to a small unit, you're going to get more of them, so you got to multiply by 1,000. And that's another way to do it. But this is very convenient. You can see it moving here. Number 13, find the average daily distance driven if on Monday you drove 456.9, Tuesday 93, Wednesday 126.63, and we want the average daily. So the average means you have to add them all up. And we got a 93 to decimal 0, and we got 126.9. So if you add them up, you get 596 and 93, making sure here 126.6. See, almost wrote it down wrong again. Not careful though. Gotta be careful. And so that's a 0 there and a 0. Add that up, you get a 3. 9 and 6 is 15. Carry your 1. 7, 10, 16. Carry your 1. 15, 17. Carry your 1. So 6, 76, 50. So the average, there's 3 days, so it's 3 divided into 676 decimal 53. And if you had a calculator, very easy, but let's do the division. Decimal's right here, so we don't have to move it. It's already on the end here, so we move it up. 3 into 6 goes 2. That gives us a 6. 0. Bring down your 7. 3 into 7 goes 2. It gives us 6. Subtract, and you get a 1. Bring down your 6. 3 into 16 is a 5. 3 5s are 15. Subtract, you get a 1. Bring down your 5. 3 into 15 goes 5. Multiply, it gets 15. Subtract, get a 0. You got to bring down your 3. 3 into 3 goes 1. And there's your average, and that's your average mileage driven is 225.51. That's the average number of miles you drove over 3 days. And we have one more to do. Joe bought 2.5 kilometers for $8.60 a kilo. Mary bought 3.3 kilos for $6.70 a kilo. Who paid less and how much? Well, let's look at Joe. Joe had $8.60 per kilo, and he bought 2.5 kilos. So that means 8.60 multiplied by 2.5. If you multiply that out, you'll get what Joe had. And again, you use your calculator, but let's multiply it. 0 times 5 is 0. 5 6 is 30, but then the 0 carries 3, 40, so that's a 43. And we're multiplying by 2 now, so we move in one place. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 6 is 12. Carry 1, 16, that's a 17. 0, 0, 5, 1, 2. And that's 2 decimal places, 1 decimal place, 3 altogether. So 1, 2, 3. So that's $21.50. Now Mary had steak for $6.70, and she bought 3.3, so $6.70 multiplied by 3.3. 3 zeros are 0, 3 sevens are 21, carrier 2 is 18, and 2 is 20. Multiply by 3 again, move in one place, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. 2 decimal places here, 1 decimal place here, 3 altogether. 1, 2, 3. So that's $22.11. And who paid less? Joe paid less, so Joe paid less, and it was what? 22, and I'm putting it here, $21.50. Let's put the smaller one below and subtract. So 1 subtract 0 is 0. 1 subtract 5 can't do it. That becomes a 1. That's 11. That's a 6. 1 subtract 1 is 0. 2 subtract 2 is 0. So Joe was less. Joe paid $0.61 of a dollar, or you could say that he paid 61 cents less. But decimal 61 of a dollar is the same as 61 cents. So again, if you bought these many kilograms of whatever, and you pay this much, so this is the prices you pay, and you just subtract. That brings us to the end of the decimal units. Just a review, just to make sure you understand using a pencil. And again, if you like my video, click the like button, click the subscribe button. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. Plus, the content is on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained, just one word. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.